What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett.
I'm Lance.
And this is Rants or Us. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000, and we hope you guys can help us get there. Alright, so this is our Season 3, Episode 8 review of Mayans M.C. Lance, what did you think? What's your initial reaction to it?
I thought it was really good. I don't think it was as good as the last couple of episodes, but I still thought it was a pretty solid episode.
How do I put it? It was a solid episode. It was really good. I feel like we got to learn something about Tazza. We got to learn a little bit about Easy, and his relationship, and then we got to learn more things about Galindo, which actually Galindo maybe is getting somewhere.
Galindo was kind of interesting this episode, and that's probably the first time I've probably said that
in a very, very long time. Huh?
Yeah, ever.
Yeah.
But
you know what?
I think a lot of people were shocked by how brutal Easy kind of was there at the end. And I didn't understand people's shock there because we've seen him be brutal. I mean, he choked a guy out, or killed a guy with jumper cables. And then, he's the one that handed Alvarez a monkey wrench basically to beat somebody's head in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've seen him be brutal. This should not surprise anybody. The only shock should be that he was so out of it that he clocked his girlfriend.
You know what? I knew as soon as that happened, when they showed the cops outside, I'm like, oh, it's going to happen. Something's going to happen. And, of course, she goes in there and those guys.
Up to that. They kind of been leading up to that the last few scenes anyway,
mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, so it was shocking.
I think he's going to be in some big trouble, and I don't mean by the law. I mean by Bishop. Bishop had just called him and set this plan into motion, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm ready. Let me go in here and go to jail."
It's not just that; there's two of them. Coco and Easy are both in trouble. Like, right now he doesn't have. He's going to war, and he don't even have all of his people there. Like, he don't even know where two of them actually are. Two of his main ones. Don't even know where they're at. That's saying something right there.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I think that there's going to be hell to pay for that one.
You know what? I know we had said on the last review that we did, when we were talking about Bishop, I actually think Bishop now will not make it through the end of this season.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll tell you the reason why. It's because they keep saying, we're going to make you the king, we're going to make you the king. I think this is the start of Easy taking, basically taking charge. I think what's going to, and this is just my theory of what I think will happen. I think they're going to take out the final king. I think they're going to be celebrating about it. And I think there's going to be something where Bishop's either going to die or either he's going to have to step back. And I think it's going to be because of Alvarez. I think Alvarez is going to put out a hit on him or something.
I don't think that... I could see most of that happening. Like, I could see Bishop dying. But it's not going to be so easy to take over because the club's not going to vote him from being just a patch member for a few days to president.
True, but
if Bishop died at this point, I think Hank would become the president.
But if you think about it, though, Taz is probably going to be out of the picture by the end of this year, too. Like, chances are Taz is not going to be there. Then you have Hank and Angel that is fixing to get into a huge conflict over that woman.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's going to be that conflict
with her. There's going to be a storyline over there for sure, but...
Yeah, so there's going to be that.
I personally don't think Bishop's going to die. I don't see that happening.
But see, this is the reason why I say Bishop's got to die, or there's a good chance of him dying. It's simply because they keep bringing in the Alvarez aspect to it, and I feel like the Alvarez situation and the Galindo situation are two separate things. It's either Galindo's going to kill Alvarez because Alvarez kept something from him, or either we're going to have Alvarez take out Bishop for taking out those kings. That's the only thing I can think of. I wouldn't, maybe even Alvarez might even do a power play.
I don't think Galindo. Now, I don't think Galindo would care about Bishop taking out those other kings because they will have the main king in his pocket.
Wait, you don't think who does?
I don't think Galindo would care.
I don't think Galindo cares one bit about Mayans politics. I think
Alvarez does. I do think that Galindo might kill Alvarez because he's finding stuff out. He found out that little bit of information from Nestor, and all Nestor has to do is be like, Alvarez is the one that tried to hide it.
I don't understand.
He's your head of security, so I'm following his orders.
I don't understand why Nestor didn't die.
We don't know that he didn't.
I mean, you pretty much know he's probably not dead.
I think he might have. I think really? Galindo might have killed him before he left that apartment.
Really? I don't think that went that way. I can see where you're coming from on that. But I don't think he actually did it. At the same
time, I don't know. I think that he would kill Alvarez before he killed Nestor because this guy's been like a brother to him from the time they were kids.
Well, I mean, if you think, and the reason why I say it wouldn't be Nestor, simply because it was after his mom died. Like, if it was something that happened before that led up to it, maybe. But I don't see, but he didn't kill the babysitter when she told him something that he didn't know, and he didn't kill, and I don't believe he killed Nestor as well, because those, and if he didn't kill the babysitter, I don't understand why not. If you kill the driver but you didn't kill the babysitter, that was hiding all these things from you as well. Like you get what I mean? Like, I feel like...
Well, I mean, he killed the driver.
Yeah, but I feel like if he would have gone, if the babysitter would have gone to him and told him all these things that Galindo's mom, had uncovered, or some of her suspicions, maybe it would have changed the situation.
I don't understand for any reason why he didn't kill Emily, except for the fact that they're fixing to set up a whole nother easy Emily storyline, because that's why.
I know.
That's why what happened with Gabby happened.
You want to know something? I was so excited with the old Gabby this year, because I thought Gabby had made Easy into an actually interesting character. And then you find out, I just happened to apply to be a nurse, and now I'm going to be moving. And then, of course, at the end of the episode, after what's happened, there's no chance that Gabby doesn't.
Yeah, see, okay. I will say this. I couldn't understand Angel throughout this episode, because it was like a couple episodes ahead, he's telling Easy, you gotta if you feel like she's the one, you gotta go fight for her. You gotta do all this, because he was feeling all sorts of ways about Adelie. Well, now he's like, because she left, he's like, why are you here? like, I'm just going to be a dick this entire episode. Like,
that was one of the weirdest scenes of Mayans. Where...
That was definitely, for me, the most out-of-place scene I've ever seen with Angel.
And like, it was like...
A lot of the other scenes, I'm like, okay, I know why he's acting like this. I can understand that. But with this one, it was just like, this was out of character for Angel completely. I didn't get it.
Yeah, it's like you go from being really happy a few episodes to really down.
And I understand. I do understand that he's down because he's in love with Adelita, and she's like, I'm out.
But they didn't even show that, is what drives me crazy. Like, they didn't show her just leaving. Like, I didn't even know they technically broke up. Like, just
she left the wedding ring, and she left.
Oh yeah, she did, didn't she?
Yeah.
I remember that.
or the engagement ring,
But see, at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't really get that relationship. Like, they haven't showed it enough where that I felt like I should care about that relationship at all. Like, I think it's a weak relationship in a lot of ways. In that regard, like they slept together, they have a kid together.
Yeah.
That's kind of like it's not like love.
Well, I mean, Angel did mention being in love with her in the first season.
But then, if Angel was in love with her, it seemed like when he thought she was just with the government, he was just like, she's there in the government. My baby's in there in the government. Like, and I'm going to screw a bunch of people. Like, I mean, that was
now I'm like, I don't know, like, what's going to happen here with him and Nell. Is he going to try to propose to her, too?
With who?
That Nell's girl.
That broke my heart.
And that's going to bother me. That's going to bother me if they try to make a go of it because they're having a kid. Because, like, Hank was there treating her right, like, the whole time. Yeah,
I feel like that's a relationship they should have let happen with Hank. If you want to build up...
I thought that was going to be the thing that made the character of Hank really interesting, right?
And now it's like... It almost kind of makes him like a deadbeat dad to a certain extent.
I feel like they're doing it to have a storyline maybe next season between him and Angel. Like...
Yeah, I mean,
maybe he's going to end up being stepdad. Like
I think it's going to happen this season.
I think it'll happen towards the end of this season, and I don't think we're going to get the full storyline until the next season, we get a season 4.
But again, how is this going to work, Lance? You have these two guys, one raising another one's kid. You really think that somebody like Angel, that's just all over the place at times.
I think they're going to do that story, though. I think they're going to do stories like that to make sure that they're keeping Mayans as Mayan show, not a spinoff. Like, I think they're going to try to do something like that in with the club so that they don't have to bring in SOA so much. Like, they're trying to go in their own direction.
Yeah, to make it where that it's internal club problems.
Yeah.
Look, right now, Bishop's talking about being king. At this stage, I'm kind of like,
right.
he don't even have his own, huh?
And you might be right. At this point, he might not ever even get that crown.
I mean, he doesn't even. I feel like it's going to be kind of like a Daenerys situation. You think that they get it, and then they touch it, basically, and then they die. Like, I feel like it's going to be one of those situations.
Or they could be setting him up to be the new Clay. I don't know.
Because think about it in this way. Where can they go with Bishop? And I love Bishop this season. I love Bishop. So it would bother me if they go down that route. I don't want him to die. But let's just say, that with his children, that with his kids moving off, his ex-wife moving off, there's going to be that situation. It's either he's going to want to go with them in some form or fashion,
be closer to
them, or what.
I'm not sure he has other kids with that woman. I just know that their kid died.
No, he's got one more kid. He's got another teenager, because remember he asked in that one scene, he says, he would have been this, and the other one is, 13 now, and she's like...
Yeah, but I don't know 14. If that's like a kid she had with her lesbian lover after they split up or not.
No, I think that's his kid. I think...
I'd
have to
show something more about that than just a little comment like that.
Yeah, but it seemed like I remembered something like that in a previous episode as well.
Maybe I'll have to go look for that to be sure, but I'm not sure on that.
But either way, like, I kind of feel like that's going to interfere with him being king, because something's either going to happen to them, and he's going to take his kid, or something. Maybe that will be the thing that ends up happening. But I feel like at that point, them bringing that in, there's got to be a reason.
Or her leaving is just going to make him so brutal. Like, because he
Could very well be. He has nothing to lose. He feels like Santo Padre took everything from him, even his, his family, the one that died and the one that is still alive. So I mean that's why she said,
even if it's just it cost him his wife. I mean, and his son that died. I mean, it definitely cost him his wife. Sure.
Yeah. Well, you remember when? See, he does have another one with her because you remember when they're at the scene, the diner scene, and she's like, "Well, we're taking him out of school, and we're going to move him to Arizona."
Yeah,
and he's like, "You can't do this to me," and she's like, better school. It's another school for him, and he'll be better off. It's a new start for us that we need. Those kind of things. Because he's not in love with his wife anymore. Like, he don't give a crap if she's there. Like, he just don't want her to leave, for things. So, either way, I'm like, something's going to either happen there or I don't see how he can function properly. Because they showed him, even at the end of this episode, where that he pulls up to that house that's got the for sale sign on it. So, I'm like, there's some reason they're pushing that narrative. Something's either going to happen to him or either something's going to happen to Bishop in that regard to give him that clean slate. But I hope it doesn't. I really like Bishop. They have done an excellent job with Bishop this season. Excellent. Could not have done it any better. They made him,
like I said, I enjoyed this episode. I didn't think it was the best episode. I didn't like, one thing that bothered me, or that might have been the last episode, actually. But it bothered me the way they saved Coco from his OD.
Oh my goodness, with hope.
Yeah, she just happened to have a syringe of adrenaline in her purse in case this happens. I mean, if you're that bad off,
I'm like,
I don't think you'd be thinking clearly enough to be like, I'm gonna take some adrenaline everywhere I go in case I OD.
I'll tell you what really scares me. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. But I'll tell you what scares me about her leaving is Coco saying to his daughter, I have to do that with her. So, if she doesn't do it with him, is he going to do it on his own? And that's the scary part about it. And
I think he should know at this point that if I don't get clean, the club's going to kill me. I
don't understand why there's not more desperation in him in that regard. Like, you have been away from the club for a very, very long time.
They're calling you and you're not answering.
Do you not think that they're not going to be paying attention as
well? There's consequences to pay.
Yeah, look at like what they did with Easy and Angel did with Happy. You remember how the club got called and then they're like, hey, we're coming around, to find out what's going on with you. So I kind of feel like a situation like that's going to happen with them, and he's going to have to.
And I think
they're going to see him in the state that he's in.
I think that's going to get Gilly in trouble because he knows what's been going on with Coco, but he's been covering for him.
Could very well. I mean, at this stage, I don't know what Bishop is capable of doing. I don't know if
even though Gilly's all pissed off with him, and he's like, "I'm done with your shit."
But he still takes up for him.
Yeah, when Bishop asked where it was, he was like, "Oh, he had that surgery."
Yeah, because he knows that if he tells the truth about what it is, that it's death for him. Coco. Yeah, they're going to kill Coco. Yeah. And so, I mean, that to me is a really sad situation. I hope they don't kill Gilly because of that. I hope they don't.
But overall, for me, I think this season has been great.
Yeah. Except the first two episodes were poor.
The first two episodes were soft, but as a whole, I'm saying this has been probably the best season for me.
By far. This is the season that got me big into Mayans. Because for just so long, I've been talking to you about this. I'm like, it's good, but it's not SOA good.
I've been the other way around with you. I've been big into it for a while, and I can tell you, I feel like this show could be better than SOA. I still feel that way.
I remember, like, back in the day, I used to look forward to every time, like when SOA was there. You know, a lot of shows I would sit there and I'd be like tape, and I'd be like, I'll watch this the next day or something like that. Nah, not with SOA. The SOA, as soon as that show come on, I watched the commercials and all. I didn't miss a second of it. I'll go back and rewatch it. With Mayans, I kind of like I'll get to it when I get to it.
I'm definitely that way with Mayans this season.
But with this season, as soon as it comes on, I'm watching it. Yeah.
I watch it the next day. I have to wait until the next day, but I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning when it drops. I'm watching.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I know it comes on at 2 o'clock in the morning on Hulu. I'm staying up 2 o'clock to watch it, and I wasn't that way season 1 and season 2, but I'm definitely that way with season 3. I feel like they made Angel better. I feel like not Angel, but Easy better. Amazing. And they made Bishop better, Hank better.
But it's amazing what you can actually do when you don't have a dick bag like Kurt Sutter.
Yeah, no, in a lot of ways. I mean, I feel like it's taken a new direction to a certain extent. It's added more stuff. It's not the easy story.
Everybody was so focused on that Sons of Anarchy member dying that we thought we were going to go down that route. But they're like, let's be our own show.
Yeah. Yeah, that hadn't even been taken.
Now, I think when they find his body, when they find that the body that Tazza had, something's going to pop off then. But that could be a few seasons from now, for all we know.
But then this is the thing that I never understood about that episode is why did he hide the body?
I don't know.
Like, it wasn't him that killed him. Like, what was the point of hiding the body? Like,
I guess I don't know if they just did. He didn't want to report it so that the club would have attention, but he's hiding it even from the club.
Yeah, so I don't really understand. I mean, because all he had to say is, "Hey, there's a dead SOA member on my bike. What do I do about this?" Like, I don't feel like that would have caused any kind of strife with Bishop or anything. They would have probably buried him out in the desert.
Bishop probably would be like, okay, well, we need to find the guy who's sending you this and kill him because he's a problem. And maybe that's the thing. Tazza feels like it's his fault they got a loose end. And so he don't want to tell him and then be like, this is your shit, man.
Look,
he's got this vendetta with you because you used to be a part of his crew.
You want to know something?
And now it's attention to us, so you need to handle this shit or we're going to have to handle you.
I kind of felt like the revelation with Tazza was not as profound as what they, I guess, wanted us to
I just expected it the way they talked about him throughout throughout the whole season. Yeah. I knew it wasn't his brother, it was her brother.
Yeah.
I knew, so I knew it was...
I'm like, it's not because that's your friend, and it's not your brother, and it's not your dad, so therefore, it's got to be your lover. Like, it just felt like it had to be that, or it would be...
So it wasn't like this big
No, it wasn't. No, as soon as I watched it, I was like, oh, okay, Like, it kind of was something I was thinking all along anyways.
I kind of knew this is what you were going to tell us at some point, but okay, I got you.
And it makes sense.
I think partly, though, I mean, maybe... Even if I'd seen that coming, it still could have been like this big, profound moment if it wasn't directly followed by Easy's big moment.
You want to? Yes, I will agree with you on that. But I will say this. I wish they would have done. That would have been a really good place if they would have done like a, not a backstory, but where they showed it happening. Yeah, like a dream that he's having, kind of like what they did with Bishop. Some situation like that. That would have been
flashback.
Yeah, flashback. That would have actually I felt like made it a little bit more profound because it would be something maybe you're not expecting at that very moment, and then you see it and you're like, oh, that's what was going on that. That would have made sense if that was the case. But at the same time, I'm like, why does that guy have a memorial for the guy he killed if that's the way he felt towards him? You get what I mean? You remember when they went in there and they shot up the place and he saw that memorial to his lover. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me either. Like, why does that guy hold that guy in such high regards? In that regard, if he just went out there and killed him, not unless it's like a Dumbledore situation where that Dumbledore Grindelwald situation where he's accidentally killed in maybe the crossfire or something along those lines, and maybe that's a secret that Taza is not telling. Maybe that's why he has so much guilt in a lot of ways, is because it could have been an accident in that way. Now that would be an interesting storyline.
That might would be. Well, let me ask you a question. What would you rate this episode?
6.5 to 7.
Mine's a solid 8 for me.
This is the reason why I rate it 6.7. Because of there was some really bad acting. In this.
That brooch scene
was weird. The scene with I didn't even like the scene on the bridge with him and her. I didn't really like that. I thought the nurse thing was just something that I was like, that's how they're going to get rid of her. I thought they were going to do something profound and kill her, but no, they're just going to let her be a nurse.
At that point, you didn't care about anything that happened with Gabby because you're like, well, she's going to be gone soon.
And then even the white guys in the bar saying what they're like, I'm like, that's a border town. Like, are you seriously going to come there and be saying crap like that? Like, I felt like that was stupid in that regard. And I saw it coming from it. As soon as I saw the two guys in the background, I'm like, they're going to say something because she brought up that with Emily earlier thing. And I'm like, okay, they're going to do it. So there was a lot of really straightforward foreshadowing.
They brought it up in their conversation on the bridge. So when I seen that in the ice cream shop or whatever it was, I was like, okay, so that's where they were going with this. I understand the build up they were doing here.
Yeah, there's a lot of foreshadowing that come into that. And so I didn't really like that aspect of it. I liked Galindo this episode. I thought the end scene was really interesting. I thought he might kill her. Huh?
I did until he didn't kill her. I was really into that character until he didn't kill her.
And then he cries about it. Like you said, they're going to after that. And I'm like,
I didn't
that kind of ruined the moment, dude.
He wanted to kill her. And he wanted to kill her, and then he wanted to bang her brains out, and then he wanted to cry about it afterwards.
Yeah, I know. And so, I'm like, look, dude, I kind of want you to be this hardened criminal at this point.
I want you to be the head of the cartel.
Yeah, I mean, I want you to know that, either you kill her or either you let her know what's going on.
See, that would have been a good way to start a personal, vendetta between him and Easy.
Yeah, it really would have been.
Gabby's out of the picture. If he killed Emily, that would be a reason for Easy to be like, oh, I'm going to kill this dude. And then for him to find out that Easy killed his mom.
It would also, look, it would have actually been a really good way for them to get rid of Gabby in this way. Where, let's say Galindo kills Emily. And then Easy goes after Galindo over this, and Gabby realizes, he's still in love with his ex. And so she leaves because of that. I think that would have been a lot better than the stupid brunch scene and the stupid ice cream scene. Like, those two scenes were bad to me. They were just bad all the way around. I didn't like them.
The brunch scene was horrible for me, so I would have to say, maybe a 7.
See, for me,
thinking about it all in those regards, that kind of lowered my original rating there. So I'm gonna say a 7.5. Max.
Yeah, because and it's only because those two were so bad in the foreshadowing that I was just
the ice cream thing didn't bother me that much, but the brunch thing really, really, really bothered me.
When she's cleaning up that and Easy's dad's like, I told you to stop. Where was your emotion, With your son,
my issue was more with Angel's acting and that. Like
Angel, yeah, it kind of come out of nowhere. I don't really even like the Hank Angel thing that's going to be happening. I'm not really a big fan of that. I mean, think about it right now. You have Angel with 2 kids. You have Angel with 2 kids, and
one died.
That
one
we
died.
think one died. But let's face it, you probably know that baby's still alive.
I've been saying that from the beginning. I'm just going with what we know.
Yeah.
Like we're supposed to know.
So I mean, I'm like, and you know that Angel isn't going to do this woman right. That he's eventually going to try to get back with Adelita. So you know that's going to cause a confrontation with Hank, and he's going to look like a deadbeat twice go around. And I'm like, I don't know if I like that.
I'm hating anything to do with Adelita this season. Like,
I'm hating it because of what she did to Angel's character.
Look, I know me and you talked way previously, about like a year or 2 ago about it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Anyway. And I didn't like her in season 1. Then I kind of started getting into her, and I really can't stand anything to do with her character this season. But anyway.
Season 3, I don't like her at all.
I say a 7.
I would give, you know what? I give it a 6.5, 7, somewhere. I want to give it somewhere in between that. I don't want to give it necessarily a 7. I want to give it like a 6.8, 6.9, somewhere around in there. I know that's kind of almost a 7, but just not quite there yet in my eyes.
Yeah.
Those scenes ruined it for me in a lot of ways, even though I do feel like I do like where this is going.
Like part of the letdown, at least for me with this episode, was we came off a few really strong ones right before this one. So it looks bad in comparison type thing, too.
And I'm glad Ibarra's back. Or isn't that his name, Ibarra, whatever, the one that was off the, Tucson gang? I'm glad he's back. I'm glad they didn't kill him. I really do like him.
I was wondering what happened to that.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, that is one thing I was glad about. But, yeah, overall, I'm not going to say it was a bad episode. I'm not going to say it was a great episode either. I feel like it was a good episode, but it just had some really cringeworthy moments to it.
It was good. It was good. It wasn't bad. I was still entertained throughout.
Yeah.
There was just some scenes where I'm like, okay, I'm glad we're done with that.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
but
I don't like what it's foreshadowing to come to a certain extent in some things. But I think that's about it for me. What about you?
That's completely it for me.
All right, guys, let us know what y'all think down in the comments below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are we wrong? Are we right? You know we're right.
Where would you like to see improvements?
Where would you like to see improvements? Where would you like some of these storylines to go? Me, I would love for him to kill Emily, and that'd be a good reason to, if they're going to get rid of Abby, at least we get rid of Emily. So I'm like, if you're going to do it that way, all power to you at that point.
And I think, now, one thing I do want to add, I do think they're fisting to push Letty. Like, we're fisting to see some real
I think so too.
That character.
I think we're going to see it.
Leave her out of this. We didn't talk a whole lot about her, but I really like her. She's not in it a lot, but when she is, man, it's some good scenes.
She's strong when she's in it. She's strong. She's memorable when she's in it. So, that's one thing that does stand out about her. But as always, guys, let us know what y'all think. Thank y'all so much for watching. And y'all take care.